It's William.
And Robin.
With Riverstone Life. And Robin, what have we learned staying in a long-term spot? Because this is our second kind of long-term. I mean, this one's going to be longer than the last one.
Right.
But what have we learned in this long-term spot? I know what we learned in RV life.
What have we learned?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What do you mean? You were sucked in.
Oh, I was. Thanks to YouTube.
Not me. I'm like, are you nuts? And look, here I am. But anyway,
Well,
that's a whole
what
other
happens
story.
is when you start this lifestyle, it's all, I'm going to make everything happen in 1 year. And that's the goal I had, because that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see all 50 states in 1 year. Let's just run ourselves into the ground. Let's tear up everything we got. And all of a sudden look at each other going, hey, we can't keep this pace up, right? So then we get a long-term spot.
Yes. And we're here.
In beautiful Alabama.
Yes.
What have we learned, Robin?
Well, let's be a little more specific.
Okay.
What have we learned since our truck is not in the same state that our fifth wheel is?
Well, it's nice to have this long-term spot, right?
Amen.
Because what would we do right now if we were in an RV spot somewhere with no truck? I'd be paying some RV transporter guy to kind of move my stuff.
For sure.
I don't even know where I'd be moving it, and a lot of the places we want to go are all booked and filled up for the whole year.
Right, it's summer.
It's summertime. So me planning this down here was the smartest thing I ever did, wasn't it? You gave me a lot of crap. Because I just pulled it out of my butt one day. I said, hey, we're taking the fifth wheel to Alabama, and that's where it's going to stay this year. And she looked at me like,
Alabama?
what? Why'd you pick this place? I picked it I like the location.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it so if we stay here in the colder part of the year, I can save money.
It'll cost us less.
Cost us less for propane.
To keep it warm.
I picked it because of the price. I picked it because it's a beautiful spot.
Correct.
Yeah, there was a lot of things. That's why we picked this spot. But sometimes I think that little guy inside me is saying, William, you need this because your truck's going to break down in like 6 months and you're not going to have no place.
And it's going to be all the way, 20 hours away.
Don't get me wrong. If the truck, I should maybe have just drove it all the way back to here and had it serviced. But we had those people servicing it there, so that's why we let them do it.
Correct.
So it sucks to have the truck in Colorado and us here, but it's nice that I trailered the Jeep down here so we'd have a vehicle when we came down. That's another thing you yelled at me. You said, just leave it in Pennsylvania at my parents' lake house. We don't need it. The heck we didn't. See, I'm always ahead of the game.
No. If the dealership would have said, here's a rental car, you're good to go until your vehicle's fixed, then we wouldn't even have this conversation. Because we would have a rental.
Maybe, but back in my mind, I already knew they were going to have a rental.
Anyways,
all right, we're
what
done
have we
arguing.
learned?
What have we learned? We learned that me and her don't like each other since we started this lifestyle. Just kidding, folks. This will test your relationship.
For
Agree?
sure.
That's one thing that we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a strong relationship, do not get into this lifestyle.
Or put it out on YouTube.
Or put it out on YouTube. All right, so what have we learned from this?
We have learned that do not keep all of our tools, well, your tools, because I don't use them, inside a truck that is 20-hour drive away when you need them in your RV. Here.
You would think, I told Robin, I said, I'm going to take your daughter's vehicle down to the truck. I'm going to get all the stuff. So we have all our clothes, our refrigerator, all the stuff that I thought
My
we
lint
needed.
roller.
Her lint roller. Her lint roller was an important thing. And I'm remembering, this is my get out of jail free card because I was remembering all her important stuff. That's what allowed me to forget the tools.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Anyways, I didn't grab any tool. And see, the truck, I have all the toolboxes. I have air compressor, its own little generator. I have everything to fix anything on the road that I need to do, correct?
Yeah.
But I have absolutely
in the truck.
nothing. I don't even have a screwdriver. I got to use a butter knife to do anything here.
No, you did. Until we started the Jeep and the battery was dead and we couldn't.
Tires were low. I didn't have an air compressor. The battery was, now don't get me wrong, it's a 2021, but we did buy it at the end of 2020. So the battery's almost 4 years old.
I get it, it gets old.
That's as long as they make it. But we got
here. If you want to replace it, we don't have any tools to do that.
And see, we got here late, and the next morning I had to drive the rental car to the airport.
Yes.
To drop it off or pay for another day.
Right.
So I'm like, well, we'll just start the Jeep, and I hit the button. Nothing.
Didn't work. Oh, and also, don't leave your battery chargers 20 hours away.
Yeah, I had to buy another battery charger. Had to buy a little toolkit.
Who needs one? Who needs two? Who needs three?
I got
You need
$10,000
three.
worth of tools in the truck, and I
We have
don't
3
even have a
battery
screwdriver
chargers.
with me. So,
We own 3 battery chargers now.
well, lesson 1 is don't break your truck. Buy a different truck. You should have bought a Ford, right? Ford guys, or a Dodge.
Or a Dodge.
Yeah, or a Dodge, man.
But anyway.
Yeah, this has been.
So
fun.
this has cost us rental car fees.
Yeah.
It cost. Well, we needed a battery. That wasn't a big deal, but we didn't need a battery charger.
That's
we
another
own
funny
2.
story. We go to West. Let's go to Walmart because her son-in-law works at Walmart, so we get a discount right when we buy stuff. So we go to Walmart and I'm looking at the batteries. They got $69 batteries, and I'm going, oh, this.
You're like, oh,
$80
that's not going to
That's
cost less
great.
than $100.
Guy comes over. He's like, well, your vehicle does it have that little where it
Little
shuts
A.
off? At the little A that it shuts off. I'm like, yeah, but I turn it off all the time. He goes, well, you need a different battery. And of course, the battery we need is almost $200. I mean, that's our luck. She just started laughing because she already knew that it was going to be a $200 battery. $20 toolkit so we could change it
It
out.
was more than 20. It was like $30 toolkit for the same tools that we have, you know.
No, this was junky tools that I got. I compared to you. I was out there one changing that thing. That was a joke.
But anyway, make sure you have
what the video's
tools.
really about.
Make sure you have tools in your RV.
And in your truck, and in your other
goes
vehicle, and everywhere. Maybe carry one on your backpack. I mean, I don't know. All right.
We did a list. What else do we need? I'm going to say thank goodness for our batteries and our solar power.
Yes, the batteries and the solar power. Yeah. I mean, I don't worry about we keep food and everything in our refrigerator, so when we come back here,
we don't have to run to the grocery store.
we don't have to run to the grocery store because you never know.
Ooh, there's
I heard some thunder. We might get some rain. But I know that the power goes off here every now and then, and it's never affected our stuff. The battery, we got our surge protector. Make sure you get a surge protector. We've learned that stuff.
Listen to that thunder.
Oh, I love the sound of the thunder. But we always have food when we get here.
Yes.
And we also learned some other stuff on this one, that setting our air conditioners at 75.
Yeah, that has been a debate since
we
we got here. No, we didn't argue. We were just indecisive of what number we should put.
I waste money, Robin doesn't. But it's only waste if I do it. Is that correct?
It sounds like a marriage, doesn't it?
Sounds like a marriage. But anyway, she said, we don't need to leave that air. And I said, well,
No, I didn't say we didn't need it on, but we didn't need it to be like a morgue.
Yeah, but she doesn't realize that it's got to get into these compartments where we have all our personal stuff. I know what I'm doing. I really do, even though she doesn't think I do. But all women don't think men know what they're doing, right?
You guess a lot.
Yeah, well.
And sometimes you guess good,
I guess
sometimes
good.
you
But
guess wrong.
anyways, we were gone for 6 weeks, right?
We were.
We set the air at 75.
Yes.
And the bill went up $60.
Yes.
So, to my opinion, $60 to pay to not be here, to know that everything in here is not melting.
I
Because
agree.
no matter what, this thing is just like a beacon for the sun to just beat on.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you just decorated everything. You had.
I didn't want anything ruined. I
don't
get
know
it.
how you stick the pictures on the walls and everything, but I was worried that we'd come back and I'd be rehanging pictures. So we learned.
We're putting our walls back together.
So long term that was. Another thing we learned in long term: always shut your water off.
Oh, for sure.
We never leave the water up.
No.
We shut the hot water heater off. And every time we come here, as Robin's taking stuff into the car, I'm over there turning the water on, turning the hot water heater on, walking inside, clicking it, and boom, we've got water. We got hot water.
Correct.
It's nice
Speaking
and
of
cool
water.
Yes.
Speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
water.
No matter how long you do this and think you know what you're doing.
We learned a valuable lesson.
Well, yesterday before I woke up.
2 days ago.
Now, this is one thing you need to learn from long-term RV
Yes.
spot, because if you weren't doing a long-term RV spot, this probably wouldn't have happened to you. But it's the reason it happened to us, so we'll bring it to your attention, right?
For sure.
I'm an old guy. I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, got to go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
I woke up there 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got no water,
Which was weird.
which is weird.
I'm sleeping, had no idea.
But I've had the water filters on the outside of the RV get bad and not let water through them out, and I'm in my mind I'm thinking just the water filter needs to be replaced because it's one of those ones laying in the heat on the ground. Don't think nothing of it.
Right.
Robin gets up at 5 in the morning.
No, it was 6:30.
But when Robin gets up, every light on the RV's on. She's waking me up. We got no
We
water.
don't have any water. So weird.
I'm like, you can pee down there and use a bottle of water.
Hey, whatever. Went back to bed. Did they think of it?
But it was like, what, 12 hours before they got our water back on?
Like 11, I think.
And Robin's like, don't we have water tanks? Yeah. Don't we have water? No. Why? Because I drained it when I brought it before we brought it here because it was getting all the work done on it, and I never filled it back up because it didn't need it.
Right.
Well, you know what? We got our water tank full again now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never rely on public water.
And
We still don't even know what happened
But we
to the
never
water.
did that when we were doing our full-time RV life. I always made sure we had water because the RV parks
Yes,
all the
it's
time would
important.
not work.
But you think you're in public water, it'll be there.
I mean, there's houses around us. I mean, there's houses built right next to us and stuff. I mean, that's what this is. This is an RV community. So, but that's what I did wrong. After all these learning lessons, I'm sitting there scratching my head. So I'm waiting, and finally at noon, 12
No, it was
or 1
1
o'clock,
It was a little after 1-ish.
the water comes on. What is the first thing I do? I told Robin, you're not taking a shower yet. I need to fill the water tank.
No, I said you're filling the water tank.
She told me I was filling the water tank. But now we got a full 100 gallons of water,
Yeah,
right?
on backup, because you just never know.
Just never know, and I'll wait a few months, maybe a month. I'll drain it every month and replace it with new. I mean, it went through the filter system and it went in the tank.
I know we're in an RV. We should have water, but we don't think of it
Because
until...
we're supposed to be self-contained here. So there's another learning lesson. So remember that.
Oh,
If you're staying in a
always
long-term
learning.
spot, keep some water in your tank just for those days, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Anything else we've learned in this?
I don't think so. I can't think.
Yeah, you need wasp killer.
Oh, yes, for sure.
I went out there to dump our tanks and got stung by a bee.
We never, besides the Colorado one, but we weren't really there when we stayed in Colorado because we were out in Alaska and Canada and all the other stuff for my kid's house. We were never
Well,
really
we got
there.
mosquito killer, we got everything like that, but we don't have any wasps because we were never in one spot long enough to let them things build a nest.
Correct.
But they built a nest under the hood of the Jeep. So I'm in there trying to change the battery, getting attacked by wasps there. They built 2 of them over on the other side of the camper there. So yeah, so you need wasp killer. Right?
Yes.
Don't forget the tools. I don't know. I mean, this lifestyle, you will learn something every day, yeah. And I'm not, I mean, it's hot, but I'm not really complaining about the heat. I love this. I love the trees.
Me too.
I spent 40 years in Colorado. The only time I've seen the trees is when I went to the mountains.
No.
So now when we go to Pennsylvania and we go to all these states with the trees, I feel like I'm home again.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you're somebody that lived in the trees growing up and then moved to these places out west that don't have any of that, do you miss that? Leave it in the comments because that's the reason I'm here. I miss the trees.
Me too.
The humidity's not been that bad here, would you say, compared to Florida at your kid's house?
Correct.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What else you got to say, Rob?
Nothing.
So just remember, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you like what we're doing on the channel, what do they do to the channel?
Subscribe.
Remember, we got tons of videos out there. All kinds of playlists about the Riverstone. All kinds of learning lessons.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of reviews. We're not going nowhere. We are the real deal. Right?
For sure.
And always